Dozens of officials representing local government agencies and nonprofits met with the Michigan State Police, Emergency Management, and Homeland Security divisions about how to get assistance from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA. The officials were invited by FEMA and Michigan State Police to the Southfield Library as part of their regional stop to brief the agencies on applying for federal assistance.
Today is the Public Assistance Grant Program applicant briefing. This is where local government entities come to a briefing provided by the state of Michigan and the Federal Emergency Management Agency to learn how local governments can get grants to help rebuild public facilities, public infrastructure like roads and schools.
After the recent storms and floods of this past summer prompted President Obama to declare a disaster in Michigan, local public agencies were required to file for assistance. The FEMA program went in depth in explaining how individuals and municipalities can organize and file their paperwork.
President Obama declared a major disaster for Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb counties on September 25th. And what that does is it provides individual assistance and public assistance. And there are two pieces to this federal declaration. Individual assistance is for people. That's the key thing, individual assistance for people. So if people had a flooded basement or had other damages caused by the torrential rain and flooding from August 11th to the 13th, they can go to a disaster recovery center, they can call 1-800-621-FEMA, or they can go to disasterassistance.gov and register for help. And FEMA provides a grant program to help people rebound and recover from that disaster. So that's one piece of it. The other piece is public assistance. And public assistance is for local governments and some nonprofit organizations. And what that is, it allows local governments to recoup some of the costs from emergency work, response, damages to public facilities and infrastructure like schools and roads. So this meeting today is for public assistance in the Public Assistance Grant Program, and it's for local government and nonprofit organizations so they can recoup some of the costs that they incurred from the disaster that occurred.
Partnerships at both the state and local level have been essential to the program.
Within the state of Michigan, every county and some cities have an emergency management coordinator, and the state of Michigan works closely. And basically what happens is when an emergency or disaster happens, it all starts at the local level. So it will happen in the city of Southfield, it will happen in Oakland County, and what the state does is the state supplements the local response and recovery efforts. And then when the state needs help, that's when we ask FEMA to come in, and FEMA comes in and helps us as well. So this is a collaborative effort. We're working as a team, we're working as one entity to ensure our people, our citizens of the state of Michigan, get the help they need to recover, as well as our communities, our local governments, and some nonprofit organizations.
With the winter season fast approaching, FEMA officials are urging residents and cities who sustained damage during the flood season to register and begin the application process as quickly as possible.
What we're asking people to do, if you haven't registered with FEMA, call 1-800-621-FEMA or go to disasterassistance.gov, or you can go to a disaster recovery center that's open throughout Southeast Michigan. We're asking people to go there and to register. With winter weather, coming quickly here, we need people to register as soon as they can, because people may have damages to furnaces or whatnot, and they need to get, hurry up and ASAP, call that number, go to that website, or go to one of our centers and register for assistance. FEMA will give you an applicant number. You're not registered if you don't have an applicant number. And on top of that, when this disaster in August occurred, a lot of people called their local communities to report damages. They called 211. Even though you called those numbers, you still need to call FEMA to get assistance. So if you haven't called FEMA, do so now. Don't wait, because November 24th is the deadline. So time's ticking. So people need to call 1-800-621-FEMA, go to disasterassistance.gov, or go to one of the disaster recovery centers. So that's what we're asking. So don't wait, register today.
To learn more about the Public Assistance Grant Program, call the Southfield Homeland Security Division at area code 248-796-5990 for further information.